After learning that the Ola's Empire would launch an attack on the city of Aislinn, Ren and Rosalind were arranging the defenses outside the city. Seeing Ren order soldiers to dig small pits on the inside of the trench, close to the city wall, Rosalind felt utterly puzzled. She thought those pits should be dug outside the trench because if the pits were deep enough, they could be used to stop a cavalry charge. Ren believed it was unnecessary to keep them away from the wall. What he needed was for them to be gathered densely at the foot of the wall. For then the plan would succeed. Easily. As he said this, Ren glanced at the barrels of oil beside the pits. Then smiled and went on. Rosalind, do you still remember Castel saying they destroyed 100,000 of his men with a single forbidden spell? Right, Rosalind nodded, still not seeing what that had to do with the barrels of oil. Ren looked at Rosalind with a meaningful look and smiled, letting her know that those barrels were the forbidden spell Castel had spoken of. Rosalind trembled in realization. You mean just those barrels can cause damage equivalent to a forbidden spell, even without a mage? Ren nodded. He explained that this weapon was very simple to use. Anyone from an 8-year-old child to an 80-year-old elder could operate it. All it took was igniting them, and they would unleash an explosion that could destroy everything. At that, his expression turned serious. He ordered that when engaging the Alvis Empire, they were forbidden from winning. Rosalind's mind immediately went blank. She wanted to know why she was forbidden to win. To her, taking the initiative to attack would create a tremendous opportunity. If used well, it could inflict heavy losses on the forces of the Alvis Empire at the border, and buy time to build up the defenses. Ren thought Rosalind's view of war was too naive. Inflicting losses on the enemy would also cost their own troops dearly. Ren's eyes became serious. He said that what he wanted was not to cause them any harm, but to make them. Let the invaders become arrogant. I want them to think they have won, and that we have been brought to ruin. I want them to walk into the graves we have dug with proud, confident faces. Rosalind's eyes brightened as if she had understood something. She hurriedly said, You mean deliberately appearing weak to lure them deeper into our territory? Ren gave a mysterious smile and nodded. Yes, exactly. In a few days, the vanguard of the Empire of Aislinn will surely attack. You will lead our troops to confront them head on. But you must lose. You cannot win. But remember, while you cannot win, you must not be routed too miserably. You must fight and create a certain wrong impression for them. Show them that our army is trying to hold the line, trying to resist, and not surrender. But if they continue to press the attack, we will certainly be defeated. Rosalind gradually understood and added, You mean you want them to chase us right to the place where we've buried these barrels of oil? Ren smiled confidently, and nodded. Exactly. Let them be proud. Let them be confident. Let them rush headlong into the hell we've prepared. Having grasped the whole plan, Rosalind declared with confidence that she would carry out the task flawlessly. Ren was very pleased with her spirit and understanding. He instructed her to continue arranging defenses here, while he went to see Armando. Ren believed that after this battle, they would rewrite the rules of this world. At Bram's smithy, Armando was furious with Bram. What's wrong with you? Every detail on the blueprint has been calculated precisely. Our job is to follow the designs Ram provided. Bram thought a smith like Armando, who didn't understand forging techniques, had no right to argue. He insisted the tube in the plans was far too thin. Though he didn't fully understand, Armando still insisted this was Ren's design, and that Ren had claimed the blueprint had been carefully calculated. It would deliver greater firepower, he said. You must follow the plans. Exactly. Change nothing without permission. Bram picked up the steel tube, burning with anger. I hear what you're saying, but this dimension in the drawing is ridiculous. A tube this small can't withstand the pressure of gunpowder. The tube will burst before the gunpowder even detonates. What followed was an endless argument between Armando and Bram. Just then, Ren entered the smithy. From a distance, he had heard the dispute and spoke slowly as he approached. Armando, why is a workshop foreman like you arguing with your subordinate? Armando looked troubled. Lord Ren, I only want Bram to follow the drawing, but he insists the gun barrel is too thin to withstand the pressure and that it will explode. Bram quickly stated his case as well. Lord Ren, although you helped our dwarves build a furnace capable of melting iron, that doesn't mean your design is flawless. We dwarves value practicality. We can't make weapons that can't be used. This tube is far too thin. It definitely won't hold up to the pressure and will ultimately explode. Ren forced a wry smile. He understood why Bram reacted so strongly. After a moment's thought, he said slowly, Bram, you don't need to worry that this tube will burst under high pressure. Bram would not accept Ren's words. He believed Ren was a man who craved quick success and instant gains, and didn't understand the limits of gunpowder and metal. He insisted the piece would not withstand the pressures involved. Ren admitted Bram's concerns made sense, but argued that as long as they used the steel tube according to certain rules, nothing would go wrong. The design of this fire tube gun is based on precise calculations and numerous tests. If it's controlled properly, it will not explode. Instead, it will produce astonishing power. Bram inspected the tube with suspicion, yet still wondered how much force such a small tube could produce even if the gunpowder detonation were controlled. Ren smiled and asserted, at a range of 50 meters, a shot from this gun can pierce the chest of a cavalryman wearing steel armor. Ren's words made the surrounding dwarves burst into laughter. They thought he was boasting, talking nonsense. None of them believed that such a small device could pierce a suit of armor. They figured Ren was mocking them, treating dwarves as fools. How could a tiny metal tube possibly harm anyone? Ren didn't bother explaining further. In this case, only proof through action would convince them. He asked whether they had finished crafting all the components according to the design he had provided. Bram replied that most of the parts were already completed, with only a few small pieces left to make. If they started right away, the work would be done soon. Without hesitation, Bram picked up the blueprint and continued fabricating the remaining parts. He wanted to see what kind of miracle Ren's design could truly produce. Before long, through the cooperation of all the dwarves, they completed a firearm based on Ren's design. Knowing the weapon's potential, Ren took it into his hands, gently running his fingers along the barrel with excitement. It felt perfect to him. The weight, the balance, the structure, all finely crafted. He couldn't help but praise them. The dwarves truly are masterful blacksmiths. Flattered by the compliment, Bram smiled slightly but urged Ren to focus on the task at hand. Let's test its power now. I'm eager to see if it really has the strength you claim. Ren smiled and invited them all outside to witness the miracle together. At that moment, Armando spoke up with concern. Lord Ren, I believe it's far too dangerous for you to test the weapon yourself. Please allow me to do it instead. Ren told him not to worry. This design will certainly produce a very stable musket. Soon, everyone moved out to the yard. There, Ren had already set up a stand 50 meters away, upon which hung a steel breastplate used by soldiers. Taking his position, Ren raised the weapon and aimed it at the target. In his mind, he thought, everything has been calculated precisely and thoroughly. I believe this marks the beginning of a new era. Under the watchful eyes of everyone present, Ren slowly tightened his finger and pulled the trigger. A loud explosion echoed. In an instant, a lead ball shot from the barrel at tremendous speed, piercing straight through the steel armor. The sight left both Bram and Armando completely stunned. Their eyes widened as they stared at the hole in the breastplate. They could hardly believe that this weapon possessed such terrifying power.